sit down, identify what your goal is, because that's going to define your training approach and your nutrition approach in the recomp scheme of things.
Yeah, because you can't have like the one size fits all approach.
Exactly.
If you're choosing a goal from these 3 buckets.
Yeah, you can't be randomly training. Recomposition is, even though it's not a very complicated concept, it's a little, there's a fine line. You're walking on a very thin line where you have to be a little more precise. You have to be a little more calculated.
Yeah.
Rather than, when you are just randomly training, trying to work very hard, and which also sometimes becomes the reason why people are not seeing the results that they want to see.
So let's talk about this category of lose fat and build muscle, right? Because I feel like a lot of us are in that bracket.
Yeah.
Now, what do you think are the conditions that make that possible, lose fat and build muscle? Like, who are the people who can first look at that?
Yeah. So I think, first of all, it's most people.
Most of
like
us.
95% of people will fall into the bracket where they can achieve body recomposition, where they can build muscle and lose fat at the same time physiologically.
Yes.
And also in a very sustainable manner. It's only the highly, highly trained individuals who've reached their genetic potential with respect to training and muscle gain who will find it almost impossible to achieve recomposition. And that's a very rare species. It's not very easy to find those people who have reached their genetic potential.
When you say reach that max potential, right? So we are basically identifying that through a body composition analysis, a DEXA scan and stuff.
You identify through a body composition analysis, you will know what is the amount of proportion of lean mass to fat mass that you carry.
Correct.
Your genetic potential is basically to do with your training history, your training age. If you've trained hard for like many years, there's no short way of saying that, you've reached your genetic potential of muscle gain.
Correct.
But even after doing everything right, you're not able to easily gain muscle, then you know that you've hit your genetic potential. Now, coming back to your question that who can achieve recomposition?
Yeah.
Number one, it's people who are new to lifting, new to weight training, because there's a phenomenon called newbie gains that kick in. Your muscles are hyper responsive to the stress of training and lifting, and at that point in time, body recomposition is almost inevitable. However you're eating,
exactly,
you will still gain muscle because you've started to lift weights, and you've started to challenge your muscles. So people who are new to training. Second, overweight and obese individuals. For them also, body recomposition is highly possible, and if they start lifting weights, if they start focusing a little bit on nutrition, they will see fat loss and muscle gain in no time from when they start training. So people who are overweight and obese will see body recomposition for sure. Third, detrained people. Maybe you're someone who's been training hard, but you've taken a break for whatever reason. Injuries happened or life happened, and you got off training for a long time, and you've become detrained now. What happens then is your muscle memory kicks in, and you end up gaining muscle back really fast. Your cells are also responsive to the stimulus of fat loss through your nutrition, so you are able to achieve recomp quite fast. Like I said, only the super advanced trainees are the ones who are going to find it hard to see body recomposition.
You will put me in that category?
No, I don't know, because you've never trained. You've never done full proper hypertrophy training. You've been a very...
No, remember we did that together briefly once upon a time.
For a few months, right? We did, and you started gaining a lot of muscle. Lot of muscle back then, because your training style has been very different. You've done a lot of CrossFit, which is work capacity oriented. Exactly. Now you're doing High Rocks, which is again work capacity oriented. You've done a lot of cardio. You've done marathons. So all of them are very performance related. You've never trained for aesthetics, which I think you should. At least once you need to give that kind of training a shot, and I'm sure you will be able to see body recomposition quite fast in your training journey, because there is muscle memory for whatever training you do, and you haven't trained, you have not done proper hypertrophy training.